It was 2:47 a.m. when Ruth, 71, collapsed on her bedroom floor. No chest pain, no warning signs, just silence and then a fall. The kind of silence that haunts you, the kind that makes you question everything you thought you knew about your health. Ruth had no clue that something so small, something she had done for years, every single night, was quietly raising her risk of stroke. And she's not alone. In fact, most older adults are doing the exact same thing without even realizing it. You might be thinking, but I follow all of my doctor's advice. I take my medications. I try to stay active. And that's exactly why today's message is so important. Because sometimes it's not about what you aren't doing. It's about what you are doing at the wrong time or in the wrong way. And when it comes to strokes, those little daily habits, especially the ones you repeat at bedtime, can either protect your brain or quietly put it at risk. In this video, we're going to walk you through what happened to Ruth, what her doctors found, and what thousands of other older adults are now learning before it's too late. We'll reveal the one bedtime habit that silently disrupts blood flow, oxygen delivery, and pressure on aging blood vessels. And more importantly, we'll share exactly what you can start doing tonight to lower your risk, sleep better, and give your brain the nightly protection it deserves. But first, let's connect. Where are you watching from? Drop your city or state in the comments below. I love seeing how far our community stretches. 1. What happens inside your body while you sleep? We think of sleep as a time of rest and healing, and it is. But once you hit your 60s and beyond, sleep becomes a lot more complex. That's because your body's internal systems, your heart rate, blood pressure, circulation, and breathing patterns start to shift as you get older. And at night, those shifts don't always work the way they used to. Let me break it down. When you lay down and fall asleep, your heart rate slows, your blood pressure drops, and your breathing becomes more shallow. That's normal. It's your body's way of conserving energy and entering a recovery state. But here's the problem. In seniors, those changes can go too far. Your blood pressure might dip too low. Your breathing might get too light, especially if you snore or have undiagnosed sleep apnea. Now, combine that with lying flat in bed, and things get risky. When you're flat, gravity stops helping your blood drain from your brain. For younger folks, no big deal. But for older adults with stiff arteries, weakened veins, or poor circulation, that position can quietly raise pressure inside the skull. It can even reduce oxygen levels if your airway is slightly blocked. And this brings us to one of the most underdiagnosed problems in older adults: sleep apnea. Sleep apnea causes brief pauses in breathing throughout the night, often without you even realizing it. Those pauses reduce oxygen, they raise blood pressure, and they keep repeating night after night. According to the American Stroke Association, untreated sleep apnea can increase your risk of stroke by up to 4 times. So, now imagine the scenario. Your blood pressure dips from lying down. Your oxygen levels drop because you're not breathing deeply enough. Your blood vessels are strained from the position. And your brain goes through this stressful roller coaster night after night. That's not rest. That's a risk, especially when the body is supposed to be recovering, not fighting to stay balanced. 2. 3 smart hydration rules to protect your brain at night. Let's switch gears and talk solutions. You probably know that staying hydrated is important, but when and how you hydrate matters just as much, especially at night. Here are 3 simple, science-backed hydration rules to protect your brain while you sleep. Rule 1. Stop drinking fluids 90 minutes before bed. This one is simple, but powerful. When you cut off water or fluids about an hour and a half before lying down, you give your kidneys time to process what's already in your system. This reduces the chances that you'll wake up needing the bathroom, and more importantly, it lowers your risk of sudden blood pressure drops from standing up too fast in the dark. One study in the Journal of Clinical Sleep Medicine found that this change alone led to a 47% reduction in nighttime awakenings in older adults. Better sleep equals better brain protection. Rule 2. Front-load your fluids earlier in the day. Your body absorbs water best when you're moving, not when you're winding down for bed. Think of hydration like a savings account. If you wait until nighttime to catch up, you've already missed your window. The Mayo Clinic recommends around 7 to 9 cups of fluids a day for older adults. Try to get most of that in before 6 p.m. That way, your body is well hydrated before sleep, not during it. Rule 3. Choose the right fluids at night. If you are thirsty near bedtime, skip the sugary drinks, caffeine, or alcohol. These don't hydrate you, they either stimulate your system or dehydrate you even more. Instead, try a small glass of water with a pinch of pink Himalayan salt, a few drops of fresh lemon juice. Do this about 2 hours before bed. This simple mix helps balance your electrolytes and reduces overnight dehydration without overstimulating your bladder. Remember, these hydration habits aren't just about comfort, they're about protecting your circulation and keeping your brain safe through the night. 3. The sleeping position that quietly raises your risk. Here's something most people never think about: your sleep position. But the way you lie in bed each night can have a major impact on your blood flow, your oxygen levels, and the pressure inside your head. And for those of us over 60, that matters more than ever. Many older adults sleep flat on their backs. It seems natural, right? It's comfortable, and some people believe it's the healthiest way to sleep. But for aging bodies, lying completely flat can quietly create trouble. You see, when you lie flat, gravity stops assisting with venous blood flow, meaning it's harder for blood to drain from the brain back to the heart. If your veins are weak or your arteries are stiff, this can cause blood to pool and pressure to build up inside the skull. That's not just uncomfortable, it's dangerous. A study published in the Journal of Stroke and Cerebrovascular Diseases found that sleeping in a fully flat position increased nighttime stroke risk by 23% in older adults, especially in those who already had high blood pressure or poor circulation. Why? Because lying flat makes sleep apnea worse, oxygen flow more restricted, blood pressure fluctuations more extreme. So, what's the solution? Elevate your head and upper torso. Just a 10 to 30 degree incline can make a world of difference. You can do this with a wedge pillow, an adjustable bed, or even by propping up your upper body with firm pillows under your shoulders, not just your head. This small adjustment helps blood drain more efficiently from the brain, keeps airways open for better breathing, reduces heart and vessel strain, and if you snore, have reflux, or wake up feeling foggy, this can help you breathe better and sleep deeper. Here's a bonus. Side sleeping, especially on the left side, has also been shown to support better circulation and brain detoxification. A 2015 study from the Journal of Neuroscience found that sleeping on the left side improved the brain's glymphatic system, the system that clears out waste and toxins from the brain during sleep. Better brain drainage, better protection, simple changes with big rewards. 4. Is your bedroom silently working against you? Let's shift from how you sleep to where you sleep. You might be doing everything right, taking your meds, staying active, keeping an eye on your blood pressure, but if your bedroom environment isn't supporting your body, it could be quietly increasing your risk every single night. Let's look at 3 commonly overlooked factors: temperature, lighting, and electronics. First up, temperature. A lot of older adults like to keep their rooms warmed. I get it. Cold feet, stiff joints, or general discomfort can make cooler rooms unappealing. But research says otherwise. Sleeping in a cooler room can actually be better for your heart and brain. When your bedroom is too warm, your body has to work harder to cool down, which means your heart rate and blood pressure can increase during sleep exactly when they should be stable and low. In fact, a Lancet study found that stroke risk increased on colder nights only when the body struggled to adapt, usually due to rooms being overheated or poorly ventilated during the day and rapidly cooling off at night. The ideal temperature for sleep? Somewhere between 60 and 67 degrees Fahrenheit, that's about 15 to 19 degrees Celsius. This range supports deeper, more restorative sleep, lower blood pressure, reduced inflammation in the body. So, bundle up in soft layers or use a hot water bottle, but keep the room itself cool. Next, blue light exposure. Let's talk screens, phones, tablets, TVs. If you're scrolling before bed, even for a few minutes, the blue light emitted from these screens can throw off your sleep chemistry. Why? Because blue light suppresses melatonin, the hormone that helps you fall and stay asleep. And melatonin isn't just about sleep. It also protects the brain. A study published in Oxidative Medicine and Cellular Longevity found that lower melatonin levels in older adults were linked to more severe strokes and longer recovery times. So what can you do? Use amber lights or warm-colored bulbs in the evening. Turn off screens at least 1 hour before bed. If you have to use a device, turn on the night mode or blue light filter. These small changes can help restore melatonin production and allow your brain to enter deeper, more protective stages of sleep. Last but not least, electronics in the bedroom. You probably keep your phone close. Maybe you have a cordless phone base, a smart speaker, or a charging dock next to your bed. But all of these devices emit electromagnetic frequencies, EMFs. And while research is still emerging, some early studies show a link between EMF exposure and poor sleep quality, especially in more sensitive individuals. Stroke prevention clinics often advise these simple precautions. Put your phone on airplane mode. Turn off Wi-Fi routers at night if possible. Keep electronic devices at least 3 feet away from your pillow. These steps aren't extreme, they're preventative. The goal is to give your nervous system a calm, interference-free environment to restore and heal. 5. 3 bedtime rituals that help protect your brain while you sleep. We've covered what not to do. Now, let's talk about what you can do to actively support your brain at bedtime. These aren't complex routines. In fact, they're simple rituals inspired by real recovery protocols used in stroke clinics across the US, Germany, and Japan. Let's go through them. Ritual 1. The neurological wind down. Before you crawl into bed, take just 5 minutes to do some gentle neck and shoulder movements. Try this. Roll your shoulders in circles 10 times forward, 10 times backward. Slowly tilt your head side to side. Gently drop your chin to your chest, then lift it up again. These small motions activate your vagus nerve, which helps regulate your parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest side of your body. A 2021 study in Frontiers in Neurology found that older adults who did this kind of pre-sleep mobilization had 17% fewer nighttime blood pressure spikes. Want to take it further? Add deep breathing. Inhale slowly through your nose for 4 seconds. Exhale through your mouth for 6 seconds. Repeat for about 1 minute. This combo helps settle your heart rate, relax your nervous system, and prepare your brain for deep sleep. Ritual 2. Elevate your legs for better circulation. Here's a simple trick that can take just 5-10 minutes before bedtime. It does wonders for your heart and brain. At the end of the day, your legs naturally retain fluid and pressure. That buildup can make it harder for your heart to do its job and can even affect circulation to your brain. The solution? Elevate your legs. Lie down and prop your legs up on 2 or 3 firm pillows, sir, if you're able. Rest them vertically against a wall while lying on your back. Aim to get your feet slightly above heart level for 5-10 minutes. This position encourages blood and lymphatic drainage, reduces swelling and fluid buildup, relieves pressure on the heart and veins. A small study in the Journal of Geriatric Cardiology found that seniors who did this simple routine nightly had better morning blood pressure readings, fewer nighttime leg cramps, and reported more restful sleep after just 2 weeks. It's easy, free, and calming. A great way to transition into sleep mode. Ritual 3. Create a sleep cue for your brain. This may sound simple, but it's backed by neuroscience. Your brain loves pattern. When you give it a repeatable, calming signal that says, "Hey, it's time for sleep," it responds. This is called a sleep quaya, small sensory ritual that tells your nervous system to wind down. Here are a few examples. A specific scent like lavender or chamomile essential oil. A short, calming soundscape, gentle waves, rain, or soft instrumental music. A light touch routine like rubbing a bit of magnesium or rosemary oil into your legs or shoulders. The key isn't which one you choose, it's consistency. A 2020 Japanese study working with stroke recovery patients found that those who used a consistent sensory cue every night fell asleep 28% faster, had fewer nighttime awakenings, and reported improved mood and alertness in the morning. So whether it's a scent, a sound, or a sensation, build your sleep cue and make it your nightly tradition. 6. The medication and supplement combos that quietly raise stroke risk. Now we're heading into some critical territory. You trust your prescriptions. Maybe you take a few supplements your doctor recommended. Others you picked up based on a friend's suggestion or a popular video. But here's the truth, most people don't hear often enough. Some common combinations of meds and supplements especially, when taken at night, can quietly raise your stroke risk. And because older adults process drugs more slowly, the effects can be more pronounced and more dangerous. Let's go over 5 combinations that stroke clinics and emergency room physicians often flag as high risk. Combo 1. Blood pressure medications plus diuretics, taken at night. If you take blood pressure medications like ACE inhibitors or beta blockers and combine them with a diuretic, often called a water pill, like furosemide, you might be pushing your body too far, especially at bedtime. Here's why. Blood pressure meds naturally lower your BP. Diuretics remove fluid, which also reduces pressure. But taken together at night, they can cause nocturnal hypotension, a dangerous drop in blood pressure while you sleep. This can reduce blood flow to your brain during the early morning hours, which is exactly when most strokes occur. According to the Hypertension Optimal Treatment Study, seniors who took nighttime diuretics were twice as likely to experience dizziness or fainting in the morning. What to do? Ask your doctor if your diuretic can be moved to earlier in the day. Also, consider tracking your nighttime BP using a wrist monitor. Combo 2. Sleep aids plus antihistamines. You're having trouble sleeping, so maybe you take a sleep aid and then, because of allergies, you also take an antihistamine like Benadryl. Seems harmless, right? But both medications suppress your central nervous system, slow breathing, and lower oxygen levels. In older adults, especially those with undiagnosed sleep apnea, this combo can lead to confusion, disorientation, higher risk of falls, even vascular instability during the night. A study published in Drugs and Aging found that combining these 2 types of medications tripled the risk of stroke-like symptoms in adults over 70. What to do? Try non-drug strategies first, like the sleep rituals we discussed. If you must use meds, review your full list with your healthcare provider. Combo 3. Blood thinners plus omega-3 or turmeric. This one's tricky because it involves natural supplements. If you're prescribed a blood thinner like warfarin or clopidogrel, and you also take fish oil, omega-3 capsules, or turmeric supplements, you may be unknowingly doubling up on blood thinning effects. The result? Higher risk of internal bleeding, including brain bleeds, which can either resemble a stroke or trigger a hemorrhagic stroke. A 2018 meta-analysis warned that this interaction is widely underestimated by patients and often goes unnoticed until it's too late. What to do? Always tell your doctor about any supplement 7 if they seem natural. Natural doesn't always mean safe when combined with prescriptions. Combo 4. Statins plus grapefruit or grapefruit supplements. You've probably heard that grapefruit juice interferes with statins. But did you know grapefruit supplements, the concentrated kind, can be even more potent? Grapefruit inhibits an enzyme in your liver that helps break down statins. That means the drug builds up in your bloodstream. Too much statin in your system can increase toxicity, raise blood pressure, put strain on your vascular system and liver. What to do? Avoid grapefruit in all forms, unless your doctor has cleared it specifically for your medication. Some newer statins are less reactive, but always check. Combo 5. Antidepressants plus herbal calming aids. CBD, valerian, St. John's wort. This one surprises a lot of people. Let's say you take an antidepressant, SSRI, SNRI, or another type N, then, to help you sleep or relax, you add a bit of CBD oil, valerian, or St. John's wort. Seems like a good mix, right? Medication and a natural helper? But the danger lies in something called serotonin syndrome. When these agents combine, they can overload your serotonin levels, disrupting your heart rhythm, blood pressure, brain's neurotransmitter balance. A 2019 study in psychopharmacology highlighted that even small doses of these combinations can trigger toxic reactions in older adults. What to do? Before adding any calming, supplementive CBD, talk to your doctor, especially if you're already on a medication that affects your mood or nervous system. These combinations aren't always dangerous for everyone, but when they are, the consequences can be serious. And the goal here isn't fear, it's awareness. Ask questions. Bring up these combos with your healthcare provider. Your brain and your future self will thank you. 7. Your brain's night crew. Why deep sleep is stroke prevention's silent hero. Every night, while you sleep, your body may appear still, but your brain, it's anything but idle. There's a hidden system inside your nervous system called the glymphatic system. You can think of it as your brain's night crew. Its job? To sweep out toxins, reduce inflammation, and repair damaged blood vessels while you're in deep, uninterrupted sleep. And here's the kicker. It only activates when your body reaches the deepest stages of sleep. Not light sleep, not restless, toss and turn sleep. We're talking about the deep, slow-wave sleep that most older adults get less and less of as they age. So why does this matter? Because this glymphatic system is crucial for flushing out waste from the brain, clearing harmful proteins like beta, amyloid, and tau, the same ones linked to Alzheimer's, reducing brain inflammation, restoring elasticity to tiny, fragile blood vessels, and most importantly, protecting your brain from long-term stroke risk. But here's the problem. Every time your sleep is interrupted, whether it's from getting up to use the bathroom, struggling to breathe due to sleep apnea, feeling too hot, or reacting to a medication combo, that system shuts down. Even brief interruptions can prevent your brain from entering or maintaining the deep sleep required to activate its own cleanup crew. And without that cleanup, toxins build up. Inflammation increases. Blood vessels stay irritated and vulnerable. Damage from the day doesn't get repaired. It's like your brain loses its chance to hit the reset button. And over time, that adds up. The result? A higher risk of stroke, cognitive decline, and poor memory. So when we talk about all the small changes, adjusting how you hydrate, changing how you sleep, moving certain medications to earlier in the day, we're not just aiming for better sleep. We're aiming to protect and activate your glymphatic system. To give your brain the nightly tune-up, it needs to stay sharp, clean, and well protected. This is stroke prevention at the microscopic level. It's not dramatic, it's not flashy, but it's real, and it works. It's all connected, and it all starts at night. Let's take a step back and look at the big picture. You might be wondering, do I really need to do all these things? No, you don't have to change everything overnight. But what you do need to understand is this. Stroke risk isn't usually about one big mistake. It's about tiny things piling up, night after night, unnoticed. And that's what happened with Ruth. It wasn't a massive heart event. It wasn't a fall or a burst vessel out of nowhere. It was the quiet combination of drinking too close to bedtime, lying flat with poor circulation, taking medications in the wrong order, not getting deep enough sleep, and missing the body's natural reset cycle. All of those small things together created a perfect storm. But here's the hope in that story: those same small things can be reversed. Every one of them. You don't need a prescription. You don't need to wait until something bad happens. You just need awareness and a willingness to make small changes. Cut off water 90 minutes before bed. Elevate your head slightly. Choose your nighttime supplements carefully. Turn off screens and electronics. Use calming cues to guide your brain to rest. These changes aren't extreme. They're gentle, natural, and powerful when practiced consistently. Your brain is listening. So, what will you tell it tonight? Let me be clear. Your brain is not broken. It's brilliant. It's constantly adapting and looking for balance, even in your 60s, 70s, and beyond. But it does need your support. The way you spend your nights, the routines you follow, the choices you make before bed, they tell your brain what to prepare for. Stress or safety, chaos or calm, survival mode or recovery mode. And that message can change everything. Think about it this way. Every time you lift your head 15 degrees, every time you pause before drinking water late at night, Every time you skip that unnecessary supplement combo, every time you turn on a soft sin or dim your lights, you're telling your brain, I'm ready to heal. Let's reset. Let's protect. And your brain listens. It responds with stronger circulation, better oxygenation, deeper sleep, and cleaner pathways. It's not about perfection. It's about prevention. Now, I'm not here to sell you a perfect routine. Life isn't perfect. There will be nights when you forget, nights when travel or stress or illness gets in the way. That's okay. But what you can do is stack the odds in your favor. Build the habits that protect your brain, even when you're not thinking about it. Because stroke prevention doesn't start in the emergency room. It starts in your bedroom. It starts tonight. The power of one change, Ruth's story revisited. Let's go back to Ruth. She didn't ignore her health. She wasn't careless. In fact, she was doing most of the right things, taking her medications, staying relatively active, going to bed at a decent hour. But the stroke still happened. Why? Because she didn't realize that the small things she was doing night after night were quietly stacking up. Things like drinking water right before bed, sleeping fully flat, or taking certain meds at the wrong time. They didn't seem dangerous. They weren't painful. There were no warning signs. But stroke doesn't always send a warning. It arrives silent exactly like it did at 2:47 a.m. on Ruth's bedroom floor. The difference now? You know what Ruth didn't. And that gives you power. You have the power to spot the risk before it grows. You have the power to change the story. A 60-second nighttime checklist for stroke protection and better sleep. So let's bring this home. Everything we've talked about can be overwhelming when you try to do it all at once. But you don't need to do that. You only need to start. And to help you do that, I want to leave you with something simple, something actionable, something you can literally print out or write down and keep next to your bed. Here it is, your brain protection bedtime checklist. 90 minutes before bed. Stop drinking fluids. Take your last sip of water. Add lemon plus pinch of Himalayan salt if needed. 60 minutes before bed. Turn off screens or enable night mode on devices. Dim the lights or switch to amber bulbs. Avoid alcohol, sugary drinks, or caffeine. 30 minutes before bed. Do your neurological wind down, shoulder rolls, neck tilts, deep breathing. Prop your legs up on a few pillows for 5-10 minutes. Apply a calming scent, lavender, rosemary, or chamomile. At bedtime, slightly elevate your head and shoulders with a wedge or firm pillows. Turn your phone to airplane mode. Make sure electronics are away from your pillow. Use your chosen sleep, cue soundscape, scent, or massage. Choose left side sleeping, if comfortable. Medication check. Review with your doctor. Are any of your meds or supplements best taken earlier in the day? Avoid risky nighttime combinations, especially sleep aids, plus antihistamines, blood thinners, plus omega-3s. Now, take a breath. That's it. This checklist isn't about perfection. It's about rhythm. It's about building a healthy night into your life, one small step at a time. The real message. Prevention isn't a pill, it's a pattern. Most people wait until something goes wrong to make a change. But not you. If you've made it this far, that tells me something very important. You care. You're proactive. You want to understand your body, not just fix it, but protect it. And that mindset puts you way ahead of the curve. You're not just listening for the sake of information. You're listening for transformation. That's how real health change happens, not from crash diets or miracle cures or expensive devices, but from small, consistent habits that support your body when it's most vulnerable, like at night. Your blood pressure, your breathing, your brain, they all depend on your nighttime pattern. Let's make tonight the turning point. So here's my final thought for you. Don't wait for something to go wrong. Don't wait to feel the warning signs, because strokes often don't come with one. Make tonight your starting line. Pick one change from that checklist. Just one. Do it tonight. Then pick another tomorrow. Each change is a vote in favor of your future. Each adjustment tells your brain, you matter. I'm here to protect you. And that's the most powerful medicine you can give yourself. Join the conversation. Let's support each other. I'd love to know what you're going to try first. Are you elevating your head? Swapping your tea for lemon water? Turning off your devices an hour earlier? Tell me in the comments below. And if you've already made one of these changes and noticed a difference, share your story. Your experience might be the exact inspiration someone else needs tonight. Because when we learn together, we heal together. If you found this helpful, give the video a thumbs up, share it with a friend or family member who might be at risk, and subscribe for more content that puts your health and your power first. This is Dr. William Harris, reminding you, stroke prevention doesn't begin in the ER. It begins in the quiet moments, in the simple choices, in the bedtime routines you build day by day. Your health isn't behind you, it's right here. And tonight, your brain finally gets the rest it deserves. Stay safe, sleep smart, and I'll see you in the next video.